I have sent the following letter to Doctor Who magazine. The sentiments within I'm sure are shared by many posters here. Dear DWM team, I would like to compliment you on an interesting and well-written DWM 389. Despite a continued over-concentration on the new series and the rather mundane Sarah Jane adventures, the article on Destiny of the Daleks was excellent and well-researched, and I have enjoyed the comic strip, the first. However, I would like to suggest that you include some articles on Ben Chatham. If only a few reviews of his latest adventures. Ben is the most important Doctor Who spin-off character, and I'm sure many fans would be pleased to see him featured in your magazine.
Far be it for me to speak for Mr. Spilsbury, but I bet, if you got a reply, it would go like this. Dear Sparacus, who's Ben Chatham? Yours, the DWM team. Spara, you waste paper, and make Captain Planet cry.
Unfair comment. I sent it via email, and therefore did not use up natural resources.
I'm just pulling your leg, Spara. You did get a reply.
Dear Sparacus, Benjamin Cook from Doctor Who magazine here. Thank you for your generous praise of DWM 389. We put a lot of hard work into it, so your kind words are much appreciated. Sadly, I have never heard of Ben Chatham, and neither has Nessa, the office cat. I would ask around the DWM team, but Andrew Pixley is on a kayaking holiday in Avamore, Zorvad is serving 3 years for credit card fraud, and Tom and Peter are in bed. But not together. So I consulted Wikipedia. But no one appears to have heard of Ben Chatham there either. I'm afraid I must conclude, Sparacus, that Ben Chatham is not the most important Doctor Who spin-off character of all time, and that comparatively few of our tens of thousands of readers would be at all pleased to see space devoted to him in the magazine. I'm sorry to disappoint you in this way. However, we've an extra 8 pages to play with next issue, so I'll ask our esteemed editor, Thomas Spilsbury, to consider an article on Ben Chatham. If we decide to shelve our exclusive interview with Kylie Minogue. Thanks again, Sparacus, for your continued support of DWM. Yours, Ben Cook, not Chatham.
Thanks very much for the reply, Benjamin. I would however like to point out that the Wikipedia entry for Ben Chatham was longer than that of George W. Bush. However, it was removed for reasons unclear. I'm sure that the exclusive interview with Kylie would be an interesting read. However, if you decide to chop her down to 4 pages, cut through the waffle to her essentials, then a Ben Chatham article could link in nicely as he owns a copy of Impossible Princess. Thanks again.
Face it, Spara, Ben Chatham is a fanfic companion created by you as a vehicle for Adam Rickett to appear in Doctor Who. The phrase wank fantasy gets used a lot to describe his stories. He's very badly written, and has developed a cult following, mainly because he's so hateable.
Ben is not hateable. Note the way Rose Tyler fell for him.
So if I wrote a story in which John Merrick is called an international sex symbol, it'd be true? So Rose fell for Ben. How does that make him likable? He dumped her on a day trip for Paris, and told everyone who'd listen that she was a clingy chov who only saw him as a path to a better life. Oh, and she had a big arse. Which seems to be the thing everyone needs to say about Rose when in the Chatham-verse.
Rather one-sided. Ben felt stifled by Rose. She loved him, and wanted to have a long-term relationship. However, it was at a time when Ben was highly confused about his sexuality. Ben was hitting out due to frustration.
And that makes him likable? And if Rose was so devoted to Ben, why did she never ever mention him on TV?
Rose's adventures with Ben can be slotted between Series 1 and Series 2. In Series 2, Rose gets over Ben by focusing on the 10th Doctor.
Frankly, I doubt that an incontinent alcoholic homophobe who is addicted to texting, refuses to get off the couch, believes in the extension of slavery to anyone who doesn't have a degree, and has more exes than a Paris Hilton video will neither a good companion or a DWM article make.
Ben isn't incontinent or alcoholic.
He drinks absinthe like water.
Absinthe is absolutely gorgeous and appropriate for someone of Ben's discerning tastes.
Irrelevant, he still drinks this potent alcoholic drink many times a day, and cannot cope without it. Ergo, alcoholic.
And he can be a bit snobbish, but his flaws make him human.
His flaws make him a git. He thinks that anyone from a council estate is a serial killer.
Unfair. Ben has warmed to Kyle.
Oh, well, Ben fancying a guy in a hoodie instantly cancels out all his medieval class prejudices, doesn't it? Actually, no, it doesn't. When will you understand that Ben Chatham is not canon and never will be? He isn't approved by the BBC, Adam Rickett isn't contracted to play him. You need a serious reality check.
This is rather a negative way of looking at things. Moving on to more optimistic shores, Ben has not yet appeared in official BBC episodes/books. However, the same can be said of Lockwood in the Autumn Trilogy. However, these DVDs have been reviewed positively in DWM.
Don't make me write a list of people who have not yet appeared in official BBC episodes/books. Saying that, it would actually be kinda cool if Ben Chatham was in DWM, because if he could be in it, any fan-made character can be in it. Maybe they could have a section about DW fanfic.
Ben is not a common fanfic character. He is a popular and high-profile companion.
He isn't popular, and he's not high-profile, and he's not a companion, but apart from that, you are correct.
I can see that opinions are mixed on this issue. However, I'd imagine that a significant number of DWM readers post on this site. And were they to secure Adam's permission to put him on the cover, it'd boost sales with the general consumer. If I were to walk into W.H. Smith's and see Adam Rickett on the cover of DWM, I think I'd cheer out loud.
I have a reoccurring nightmare that one day DWM will announce that Adam Rickett will be appearing in Doctor Who, and the combination of this, Sparacus whirling, and the collective sound of fans choking on their straw-sipped absinthe will make the planet implode.
But moving forward into sunnier waters, the next Ben Chatham story will definitely be a special. It features an alien thread behind the scenes at a Kylie concert.